Hi, so glad you're here. So things are moving along as they move along, and today let's just do a practice that cools us down emotionally, cools us down internally, put some space around it, and I'm going to call this class, let's just roll with it. So in the heat of the moment, let's just roll with it. So this is going to be chock full of some of my favorite things. I hope you enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy it, and that's part of what I'm offering up for us today. So let's start by getting out your dowel or your can of handy dandy tomato paste. And let's roll the feet out to start, because sometimes it just feels great to work from the bottom up like that. So just get on in there, roll those feet out. And as you're rolling, feel free to focus in on those areas that you're rolling. If you go, ow, great. If you don't feel any pain, that's also great. You can also, if you want to be creative in your rolls and start rolling your upper body around, just because why not? See what else you can roll. But sometimes it's nice just to give that foot its little attention. You can actually do expressive gestures with your hands to help you roll it out, because it's quite intense for me right there on the side of my foot. So I'm just moving my hands around, just because I feel like breathing and moving in a delicious way. Because you know what we say in Tantra? You can change your mind and change your energy, or change your energy, it'll change your mind. So if I want to get cooler in my thoughts and a little bit more chillaxed in my nervous system, how can I support that way of being? I'm really standing on that roller. I hope you're having fun too, doing your own fun stuff, so we can have fun together. All right, that's enough on that foot. Woo! I so love it. Stand and feel. I love the stand feel here because it's so different. I can just feel energy moving even from the top of my head all the way down to my heel on that side. Yes, other side. Woo! Love that we have another side. So I get to feel it again, but a little bit differently. So, digging it on in there. Yeah, now maybe this side is going to have a different type of expression because it's a different side. There's two sides to every story at least. So there's at least two sides to you, and the two sides to the story wouldn't be the same side, or they wouldn't be a different side to the story now, would they? So if you think about it, and we're all different sides to the same story that is life, why would we want our stories to be the same? Okay, there's times when you want to get with someone and get your story straight because you're going to create some big lie or fabrication. But isn't that odd that stories would be the same? Just saying. I like thinking about things like that. Maybe you do too. Go ahead and roll your feet out. Wahoo! Any way you like. I'm digging into some other spots here. Standing on that heel a bit. All the foot. Oh yeah! Loving that deliciousness, giving myself space to be who I am in this moment. I've got a unicorn shirt on today. Thank you very much. Some of you will recognize this shirt. Gifted to me in Bali. You know who you are, so thank you for that. And release the dowel or the can of tomato paste. Stand and feel and just say, oh yes. All right, let's bring our feet together, arms over the head. Clasp your left wrist with your right hand. Come up into the ball of your right foot and inhale, take your body over to the right, pressing down into that freshly rolled foot. Allow my left lung lobe to drop down. Again, putting some space in it. And then can I bring that breath all the way around to my back, behind my heart, into my lower back ribs, moving down, cushioning my kidneys, bathing my kidneys and adrenals all the way down diagonally from the kidneys and adrenals to the bladder. And inhale, press down with the right foot, bring the body up, and then exhale, float arms down as that right foot might float up, it might not. Whatever's working for you today. Stand and feel. Arms overhead, clasp your right wrist with your left hand. Come up to the ball of your foot, pressing down onto the ball of the foot. And then inhale, bring your body over to the left. Breathing into your right lower lung lobe. Feel some space in there, perhaps around the back. Bathing the kidneys, lower back ribs, both lower lung lobes, even behind the heart. Oh, I'm getting it there. That's great. And all the way from your kidneys and adrenals down diagonally into, so the kidneys and adrenals are more like on the side-ish of you, and then the bladder would be in the middle. So those diagonal lines moving into your bladder, into that pelvic floor region, which we've been talking about. Inhale, press down with the ball of your foot to come up, and exhale, float the arms down as that foot might just float up. Awesome. Take the legs wide-ish. Rotate your, I'm going to start this side today for some reason. I'm taking my left foot out, my right foot in. L's in my hip creases for some slide and glides. Inhale, exhale, bend that front leg. And up, and then slide and glide. You can take it any way you like. Let's take a couple to warm up, and then let's do a different breathing pattern than we normally do. So let's inhale on the way down, opening that pelvic floor, and exhale, bring that pelvic floor together, and inhale on the way over, and then exhale, bring it back up. And those of you that want to add arms, inhale, reverse warrior, exhale over, and then just take no arms for triangle pose, unless you want to add your arm. Let's just take that spacious idea of coming up, and then bring it in, and then that breath moving open in the limbs, and then back. One more. And up. And you might just want to open your arms. And up. Let's walk the feet together, feeling that space. Notice, do you feel any more freedom behind your heart, front of your heart? Can this area in our chest have a little bit more cushion, a little bit more dance to it? Other side. Rotate that right foot out, left foot in if you're doing opposite. And I'm going to connect my feet all the way up into my pelvic halves here. So inhale down and exhale up. And then inhale over into my pelvic floor and exhale back up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale pelvic floor. Exhale up. Carry on with that. If you want to add arms, inhale right arm up into reverse. And up. And then just take it plain with the body. Just feel that space. The lung lobes that we opened. How much space can I breathe into myself? How much space can I give myself in my body, in my life? Today. Because that's the day we have. And then open. I'm just going to play a couple more times or one more round here. And just flow it. And up, walk the feet together. Take a moment and feel. Great. Let's go ahead and take sun salutes with the idea of breathing space into it. So inhale, float the body up, arms up. Exhale, soften, sink to chair. Inhale, up. Exhale, clasp hands behind you. Open the collarbones. Inhale, up. Exhale, cascade forward. Release the arms down. Inhale, come up to chair. Exhale, soften shoulders, sink hips. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, float the arms down. Take a little baby head roll to one side. A little baby head roll to the other. Inhale, float arms up. Exhale, soften shoulders, sink hips. Can I find my feet there? Yes, I can. Inhale up. Exhale, arms down, clasp hands behind the back. Inhale, open the collarbones. Exhale, cascade forward. Release the arms down towards the floor. Inhale up to chair. Exhale, soften shoulders, sink hips. Inhale all the way up, and then float the arms down. Let me do a little bit of a shoulder roll, and then a little bit of a shoulder roll. And maybe a head tilt, and a head tilt. One more. Inhale, float arms up. Soften shoulders, sink hips. Inhale up, exhale, float the arms down, clasp the hands. Inhale, open the collarbones. Exhale, cascade forward. Release the arms down. Inhale up to chair. Exhale, soften shoulders, sink hips. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, float the arms down. Lift the chin, stretch the front of the throat. Drop the chin, stretch the back of the neck. Release. Great, take your right foot forward, left foot back for warrior one position. Left arm down by your side. Inhale, go ahead and bend your front leg. Inhale, lift your left arm up, scoop it, and then exhale. Take it down, press the palm as you bring your head forward, palm presses towards the ceiling. Inhale, float it on up. And exhale, come down. You can press that palm with as much or little vigor as you like. I'm doing very little vigor today. Inhale up. Life feels very vigorous to me right now. And I just want to feel myself in space. I'm creating a little breeze here for myself. I'm enjoying it. All right, stay there. Clasp the hands behind you. Bring your body up and over if you want. You can rest your chest onto your thigh. If you can't clasp your hands, just rest them. Just hold your wrists or your hands in the back. Rest them on the small of your back and just breathe here. Inhale into your lower back ribs, all the way into the rectum, which is right against your sacrum. Then your uterus would be there, and then in front of that would be your bladder. Think about moving your right hip backwards. Can I feel that connection from my right big toe all the way up into my right hip? Release the arms down. If you need support, bring your hands onto your thigh and press yourself up. If you don't need that kind of support, use more strength to bring your body up to warrior one. Both arms in the air. Exhale, cactus pose the arms. Inhale, up one more time. And then hands to the heart in prayer. Pour the weight under that front leg. Stand on it if you can and balance. Bend that back leg, come into chair pose. Now I'm in chair pose with hands to the heart in prayer. And then inhale, right up to the center. And then exhale, float the arms down. Nice. Let's take the left leg back. Warrior one. Legs. Left hand on my left hip. Inhale, right arm up. And then exhale, scoop it back, pressing. Inhale, float it up. And then exhale, just press it back. So I'm just feeling a little breeze here. Allowing my heart to be carried front and back. So I'm carrying my heart. My heart is not leading. I'm holding my heart with my lungs. I'm supporting it with my legs and my foundation. And then stay forward. Clasp your hands behind your back and pull your arms up and over the head to stretch your shoulders if you like. If that's two, I'm resting my chest pretty much on my front thigh. You don't have to go all the way down, by the way. Or if that's not good for your shoulders or wrists, just clasp your wrists or hold your hands in the back and rest on the small of your back. You can let your head go. It feels good to you. Thinking about moving your left hip away from that left front big toe. Couple breaths all the way down into your rectum, where your uterus is or was, or your prostate if you're a male, and then bring your attention to that front bladder region with the breath. Good. Release the arms or stay there. Inhale, bring the arms up. Warrior one. And then exhale, come forward. Pour the weight onto that front leg if you like. My foot's cramping in the back, so I'm doing some interesting dancing with my foot. Bend that back knee. Chair pose, hands to the heart in prayer. I know my hands of the heart rhythm prayer were earlier on the other side, but for some reason I did it differently on this side, and I'm okay with that. So do what you need to do. And then inhale, press it all the way up. And then exhale, float the arms down. Do you feel a little taller, a little lighter, a little brighter, or something else? All right, we'll take one more standing with the legs wide-ish. Inhale, exhale, bend your right leg, bring your body forward. I'm bending my right ankle. Inhale up, and exhale, bend the other one. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the right. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the left. Inhale up. Now, if you want to just continue with that, go right ahead. Otherwise, arms out to the side. And as you bend your right, you're just doing a little windmill twist here. And then inhale up. And then exhale, bend the left, a little windmill twist here. With the idea of carrying the heart and rolling the lungs and ribs around the heart to kind of dust it off, create some space around that heart center. Feeling that lightness, inviting lightness into my heart. Okay, we'll do one more. I got so into myself that I almost fell over there. And hand can be on a block or the mat here. Internally rotate your top arm, bend at the elbow, slide it down the back. Some of you will just stay right here. Others of you can lift that front arm, your left arm up, right, so my bicep is right on my ear there. Good, and from there, inhale, breathe, bring the whole body up, facing the side, and then exhale, undo everything as you come to center. Walk the feet together, take a moment, and feel. More breath, or something else. Okay, legs wide-ish again, arms out. We don't need to do a ton of windmills. Let's just do one to the left, and up, and then one to the right, just because I like to. And then we'll stay to the left this time. Hand can be on a block here. Internally rotate, bend the elbow, slide it down the back. You can also just put your hand on your hip. Breathe into that pelvic floor. Feel the resilience of your feet. And those that want to and feel strong enough can lift your right arm up. So my bicep is kind of, my ears on my bicep area. They're not actually touching, that's just the direction. Breathe into that pelvic floor, bladder, uterus or prostate, and rectum. And then maybe even into the bones, the tailbone, pubic bone, and right sit bone and left sit bone. And then inhale all the way up. Exhale, unwind. Bring the feet together. Take a moment, stand and feel. All right, now if you have a roller, get it out. Because we're going to roll with it. If you don't have a roller, fast forward. You'll see that we're done using the roller because the roller won't be around. Take this roller, just lay on the roller with your belly. Just roll those guts out and really allow yourself to feel that breath and space in your lower back here. I find this to be very nourishing for me. You can move yourself around a bit if you want to get into the side bodies, or just stay there. And then maybe roll onto your right side a bit. Can I find my right hip? I can find my right hip. I found my right hip. I found my right hip. And then how can I roll up my right side of my back? Is that possible? Can I roll all the way to my right shoulder blade? Oh, yes, I can today. And roll back. Remember, you don't have to do any of this rolling. You can just stay on your belly. Come back to the belly. Roll a little bit higher up to my ribs. I wouldn't roll onto your ribs. Just get up there a little bit and down to the pubic bone. All the way to the pubic bone. And then find your sweet spot to breathe for another couple breaths. Really opening up your lower back. And then roll and find your left hip if you can. There it is. Left hip found. Check. That's me making a check mark sign. Dig on in wherever it's good for you. And then find the left side of your back a bit. Roll that left side. As much weight on it as you want. Can you find that left shoulder blade? Roll it back down. And then you can lay on your roller, opening up your front body. So you have both sides of the back. Roll all the way. My shirt's got caught there underneath the roller. That can happen. So undo it if you like. I like to support my head with my hands here. And then I'm going to roll back onto my belly. And then roll my quadriceps, my front thighs, just a bit. Play around, get into those nooks and crannies, like when we were rolling the feet out. Where are the nooks and crannies? I'm focusing on my left leg right now. Then I'm moving over to my right leg, finding those nooks and crannies. Oh, yes. And then one more laying on the belly. Now, if I can, bend my left leg, hold it with my left hand, and just breathe into my left thigh. If you can lift that knee off the floor a bit, great. That may be too intense on a lot of levels. So you decide whether it's the right move for you today. You don't want to be feeling any pain in your lower back or your knee. You might feel intensity in your abdomen or your thigh. And release. On the other leg. Warm it up first, so stay low until you're ready, if you're ready on this side. Now, there's a lot going on because you've got a lot of pressure in your abdomen. So the longer you're there, you're either going to be able to go further or your body's going to say, okay, we've had enough. So listen to what your body's telling you, because it's probably making some pretty clear statements. And it's up to us in our brain to say, I'm listening to you and I'm going to respond accordingly. And then release. And then place your forearms on the floor. Slide my toes back behind me. And just feel myself doing like a baby cobra. Feeling the back of my heart supported, the front of my heart supported. And come back down. And then roll off your roller. Move it to wherever you want it. Let's lay on the back. Take a moment and feel. You can cross your right ankle over your left. Bring it in through the whole pose. Can you let that breath roll through you as you roll with it? For those of you that may be a little bit more bendy here, feel free to take the outside of your foot and place it in your elbow. And embrace your lower leg towards the chest. And then I've warmed up a bit here, and so now I just want to roll across my pelvic halves, the pelvic half sacrum into the other pelvic half. Just rock back side to side. And then I'm going to slide my right leg on top, and then hold the outsides of my feet if I can get there. If not, just my shins will be fine. And then breathe here and just roll a little bit, smaller rolls side to side. And then release that left leg, and then take my right leg all the way over into a twist, and then move back to my right arm, my hand, and then feel my knee move away from my hand. So my knee, ribs, hand, and then my hand moves my ribs, moves my knee. So I'm allowing myself to floss, kind of largely. Sometimes we floss and it's way more subtle. But just feel that connection between my knee and my hand as my heart rests, and I'm carrying my heart. And then just settle into a place to hold for a few breaths. Take your right hand, which is the one that's out to the side, take it over your head if you can, and roll yourself into a little ball, into a little fetal ball here. And then extend your legs long, left arm long, right arm on top, and side lie. And let yourself roll onto, flop onto your back. And stay for a moment before the other side. Go ahead and bend your left leg through the whole pose. Or through the whole pose is any degree of through the whole you like. Bring it on up. Breathe into that pelvic floor region. Wherever you're finding your energy, exploration is taking you. Can it feel more luxurious? Can this be a time you can let go of any physical pain? Tears or laughter are welcome. Can you let go of any emotional pain? Any mental worries, fears? Then, of course, if you want to cradle your lower leg, go right ahead. For some of you, this is going to be no. Others of you will like it. I'm just going to do it for a second just to show you, and then I'm going to go back to this version for me today. Feels like it's serving my being more. Just because I can do something doesn't mean it's serving my wholeness. Sometimes picking a different option nourishes me in a different way. And to be open to how that might look or work for you. You can rock a little bit back and forth now, seeing what rocking does for you here. Can it calm your nervous system a little bit? Can it soothe something inside of you? Can you feel a little bit more fluid? And feel that ability just to roll with it, roll with your life. Sometimes a big, crazy world, and sometimes just rolling with it. And slide your left leg down. Hold your shins, little rolls, or take the outsides of your feet. Little rolls, smaller, more jiggles. Sometimes I feel this in the back of my neck and the base of my tongue, letting go. Maybe you feel something else. It's just not so obvious. Feel free to always email me and share me some cool findings if you have them. I'm always interested to see what you come up with. And then release your right leg down, left leg over, left arm up. So I'm going to feel my left leg move my left hand. My left hand ribs moves my left leg. So I'm moving from knee to fingers, fingers to knee, knee to fingers, fingers to knee. My knee leads, my fingers follow. My fingers lead through my rib cage and my heart. My knee follows. Because I'm connected to myself, I can do this. And then find a place just to be. My right hand is on my left knee, but yours doesn't have to be. Left hand over the head. I curl myself up into a little fetal position ball. And slide my legs down, my right arm up, my left arm on top of my side as for some side lying. In side lying, I find this is really nice and nourishing to let your organs have a different point of view. Maybe release some subtle tension or some not so subtle tension in there. Because when we feel emotions, oftentimes we feel them in our organs. Kind of relax a little bit more in my guts, in my heart, in my chest, in my throat, in my brain. Your brain is also an organ. And then let yourself roll or flop to your back. Heels on the floor and then some heel rocks here. Like all that fluid motion, rolling with it. And then come to stillness and set yourself up for Shavasana. Just close your eyes when you get there. You might put cushions underneath your knees. If your foam roller is nearby, you can put your foam roller underneath your knees. Covers, whatever you need here. Glasses can be on or off. Take mine off today. Give myself a little face rub. I like those. And I'll start by just feeling your brain roll to your right. And then the weight of your brain bring you back to center. And then the weight of your brain roll your head to the left. And then the weight of your brain roll you back to center. And I'm doing a large movement of my head so you can see the direction. It doesn't have to be nearly this big at all. Can I just think of softening a little section of my brain? And let that softening take my head over. Can I see if I can do this without using my neck bones? I mean, if they move, but not because they're in charge. Can I do this without using my neck muscles? Again, if they move, but they're not initiating. How much do my eyes need to soften to move my head? And from there, just release, eventually come back to center. Eventually come back to center. Melting into center. And then let that center from the backs of your eyes and the back of your head drip down the back of your throat, melting into the back of your heart. From the back of your heart, melting out the backs of your arms into your hands. If you have any more from the back of the heart, it can melt down the back, into your tail, down the backs of your hips and your legs, into your heels. And just notice what part of you is breathing. What part of you is pulsing or spiraling? What is your unique brand of energy today? Whatever it is, just allow yourself to watch it, to feel it, to be it, without fixing or changing it. What is your energy presenting today? And just go with that, roll with that. And stay here longer if you like, otherwise take a deep breath in and release. And gently wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit. Slowly roll your head from side to side. Maybe stretch out. Anything you like to do after a luxurious shavasana, make it as luxurious for you as you possibly can. And when you're ready, just roll over onto the side and come to your seated position for your pranayama meditation, or just use the one in the series. It's my honor and my privilege to roll through these times with you. Let's roll together. Namaste.